Hello, my name is Paul Micarelli, and I'm here with my son Paul Giuseppe, and we're here for another episode of Thinking Aloud. And the thing we're going to be thinking about today is money. Money, yeah, and money is a kind of a funny thing. It's abstract. You know, we have physical forms of money, but money itself is kind of an abstract concept, and it's basically just a means of exchange. And throughout history, most forms of money have been in the form of coins or something that people deem valuable to trade, and to basically take, the place of bartering, so that we're not giving, one physical thing for another of the same, what we deem to be the same value. Money's kind of a substitute that everybody agrees on, and our modern form of money is even more abstract than historical forms of money, because modern money they call fiat currency, and just the way we exchange money in general electronically, it's all just kind of numbers floating around electronically. And we still have hard currency, what we call hard currency. We still have dollar bills and coins, but now a lot of exchange is done either through credit cards or online purchasing, and now we have cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and these other forms of blockchain currency that are coming into use. And these means are going to kind of revolutionize how we exchange goods and services in the future. And there might be at some point some other system that is put in place that we can't even imagine. And money is something that kind of everybody's affected by, even if you don't really care about money, and you don't want to be caught up in the capitalistic kind of way of life that America and a lot of countries participate in. You still have to deal with money on some level, unless you're growing your own food, you're living out of a cabin in the mountains, you don't need transportation or communication. If you're basically like a hermit, a mountain man or something, or some kind of monk, there's always some kind of need for money usually. So money is an interesting thing. It's kind of touches everybody. It's something that we've kind of grown to accept as just a part of our life. And I forget if this is the exact saying, but people say money is like oxygen. It's not a big deal unless you don't have enough of it. And unfortunately, money determines the quality of life for pretty much everybody. And whether you have money or don't have money determines whether your life is happy and pleasurable, or miserable and stressful. And that's one of the things that a lot of people are trying to solve, and a lot of people rail against with capitalism and our focus on money in Western society. But like I said, money itself is just a tool. It's a means, and really how society is dealing with this tool is what determines how people are affected by it. And there's that common phrase, money is the root of all evil. But I believe that the real phrase is that the love of money is the root of all evil. So again, money itself is not evil. It's like a computer or a hammer or anything else. It's a tool that has a use, and how that tool is applied and used in society by the individual determines whether it's a means of good or evil. So I think also the view that money is this evil thing is kind of misguided. I think a lot of it comes from that simple phrase that people misunderstand. Because I think greed and desire and the desire to, control through money and to, gain more and more and more, and that insatiable need for, consuming and controlling. That's the root of the evil, not, the dollar bill or the bank account itself. And the reason that I kind of picked money this time to talk about is that, recently my personal checking account, my bank account, got targeted, and all the money in my account got drained because somebody was writing fake checks out against my name. And so it was a big pain in the ass. Whoever the scumbag was, basically took, the money out of my account, and then I had to go through the bank and, file reports. I go to the police, file reports, because basically, robbery. Some thief took money that was mine and that I, work hard for to feed my family, to feed Paul Giuseppe here, and somebody, used their intelligence, I guess relative intelligence, and their know-how to scam me. Instead of, doing good, they hurt another person. And so that's an example of, money and the greed for money being, a source of evil. And I'm working it out. Luckily me and my wife, we have, money and accounts in different banks and different accounts. So it's not like my entire, wealth was gone, and the bank is going to reimburse me for what was lost, and we're working through that. So I'm luckier than most people who get scammed in certain ways. And, I feel bad for people who, are taken advantage of, whether it's elderly people or people who may not know any better and who are, wronged in some way, robbed or scammed or whatever. It's, a shame that people in this world will do such harm to other people and take advantage of, other people that they don't even know. So that is another aspect of money, is how it motivates people. And it motivates people, again, for good or evil. People can take, their wealth and use it for good and philanthropic purposes, or, they can use it to kind of control other people and satisfy their own, their own kind of needs and wants. So will we get beyond this one day? Will we get to like a Star Trek, type of society where, money is no longer an issue and people have abundance? I hope so, because I don't think money is necessary in itself. I think it's necessary right now because that's the means of exchange that we're using. But I don't think that money or capitalism or democracy or any of these human constructs that we make in society are real in themselves. It's kind of an agreed upon illusion. And money is a great example of this because, like I said, what makes money valuable is the fact that we agree on its value. And, even when we were using gold coins, everybody kind of agreed that the gold coin had a certain value and was acceptable as a medium of exchange for a certain value. And now we agree that, currency and work and whatever have a certain value, and we kind of have a group agreement on this. And this group agreement is the only thing that gives it any legitimacy. If everybody tomorrow said that the dollar bill is worthless and has no meaning, then it would cease to have meaning. So that's why I said in the beginning that money is really an abstract kind of entity. And it's interesting how reliant we are upon this thing that we've made up as a society and as a human race. So everybody, wants more money. Everybody wants to not have to worry about it. Like I said, money's like oxygen. It's, only a problem if you don't have enough of it. When you have an abundance of money, it's something you don't think about. And there were times in my life where, you know, when I first started out and, you know, early in my career, when, you know, money was a real worry and source of stress, and worrying about, you know, am I going to be able to pay this bill this month or this bill this week? And, you know, how am I going to pay for this and or that? And, you know, now that I'm a little farther in my career, and, you know, my wife is a nurse and we both have decent incomes, and that's a little bit less of a concern now. You know, we live a little more comfortably, and, you know, we can provide for our son, and we're not worrying constantly. But, you know, now that we have a son, and, you know, anybody who has a child can attest to this, that, you know, then finances take on a whole new dimension. And now it's not just you or you and your wife you're paying for and, you know, trying to support. Now you got this little guy right here who, you know, we got to take care of and make sure he's fed and clothed. And we're very lucky to have, you know, people who love us, who help support us. And that's what any good family or friends do. But, you know, it's still something that's kind of stressful. And, you know, I look forward to the day, hopefully, when little Paulie here is older, where maybe there's a different way, and there's a different kind of, you know, way that society conducts its business. I don't know if you can conduct business without money, but, you know, I guess we'll see. So I think I'm going to end it up here, and just say that, you know, you should be aware of this kind of ephemeral nature of money, and never put too much value on it. You know, our experience, our love for other people, our, you know, lives, and what we are, you know, blessed with as far as, you know, friends and family and experience. That's a value that money can't really, you know, be put on. You can't really place a value on that. So I think that, you know, we should all kind of focus on that and focus on, you know, our well-being. And it's very difficult if you don't have money and if you're hurting financially, and you're living in poverty, or you're unemployed, which, you know, I've experienced that also. It's very hard to, you know, focus on the good things and to not have that stress. But, you know, if at all possible, we should try to, you know, put our focus onto the beautiful things in life that, you know, money can't buy, and that we do have, whether or not we have money. So on that note, you know, I would like to thank you for watching this again and joining me and Paulie, and hopefully we'll be back soon with another episode of Thinking Aloud. So until then, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon. Say bye, Paulie. See you later.